CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Victoria police have arrested 2 people after a pair of robberies involving young girls walking home from a trip to the shopping mall. 2 11-year-old girls were walking near the Hillside Centre on the afternoon of November 14th when they were approached by a couple who robbed them of their backpacks and their smartphones. The girls ran home and reported what happened, and with your help, police have now tracked down 2 suspects.
Well, it was through a lot of good detective work and following up on a lot of tips. Certainly glad that people who came into information forwarded that on to us, because that was very, very key in breaking this case, is information that came in from the public.
2 women were robbed leaving Mayfair Shopping Centre a week later, and police believe one of the suspects is connected to both crimes. 18-year-old Tegan McFarlane remains in police custody and faces 4 counts of robbery, possession of a weapon, and possession of stolen property. Vic PD released a 19-year-old Sydney man from custody with a promise to appear in court. He faces 1 count of robbery. RCMP on the West Shore have made a sizable bust, seizing thousands of dollars worth of stolen property, including fake IDs and the equipment to make the identification. The RCMP Street Crime Unit got a tip that led to a raid in a condo on Bear Mountain. Officers uncovered stolen electronics, jewelry, gift cards, credit cards, and various forms of ID. Police are now working to return the stolen goods and the identification to their rightful owners, but they face an added challenge separating the real ID from the fakes.
Those have some names on them, some are blank, so in various states. So they may, and that's part of the job that we have to do, is to determine whether we are dealing with actual real people that these identification pieces are in, or whether they're fictitious. That one did happen.
23-year-old Amanda Chin and 37-year-old Peter Big Charles were taken into custody. Both of them have been charged with identity theft, possession of break-in instruments, and 2 counts of possession of stolen property. Vic PD is asking for your help tonight after a suspicious fire that burned down an abandoned house. A man living in a trailer called 911 early last Thursday after he heard an explosion in the house on the property, and then he saw smoke. Fire crews rushed to the home in the 800 block of Queens Avenue. Police were called in after fire crews spotted something suspicious. Vic PD determined that the fire was arson. The detectives are now asking anyone who saw anything or has any information on the fire to come forward and report it. Developing story from Portland, Oregon at this hour. A man armed with a rifle has opened fire at a mall packed with Christmas shoppers. At least 2 people are confirmed dead so far. As many as 7 others have been wounded. Witnesses say they saw people screaming, running for cover, and the parents grabbing their children as they fled the hail of bullets. One person said the gunman had a rifle and was wearing a camouflage outfit and a mask. Police say the gunman has been neutralized. It's believed he may be one of the 2 people who is confirmed dead so far. Well, after months of waiting for an answer, Janice got one today. The province has agreed to pay for Janice Edroff's surgery at the Mayo Clinic. The Edroffs met with the health minister at the legislature this afternoon, and together they have worked out how they're going to move forward in getting Janice the special treatment she needs. The family still has some hurdles to clear, but says today's meeting was a big step in the right direction.
I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about that. It takes a lot of stress off us.
Of course, there is a process that needs to be followed, so today's meeting was kind of to outline how we need to proceed, but they are quite willing to help us.
The next step will be to get the doctors at BC Children's Hospital to give their approval to the ministry on what needs to be done at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, where Janice had a thorough assessment this fall. Specifics on how and when they will get to Minnesota still have to be worked out, but the Edroffs say they're happy to have this big weight off their shoulders. One of Canada's newest members of Parliament, Victoria New Democrat MP Murray Rankin, was officially welcomed into the House of Commons today. Rankin was greeted with a round of applause as he was led into the House by NDP leader Thomas Mulcair. Rankin was one of 3 MPs elected in by-elections in November. He succeeds former New Democrat MP Denise Savoy, who retired her Victoria seat last summer. After making it official, Rankin rose to ask his first question in the House.
Against the wishes of many residents, Conservatives recently approved a mega-yacht marina in Victoria's Inner Harbour. A planned environmental assessment was cancelled, yet another victim of last spring's omnibus budget bill. Mr. Speaker, when will Conservatives stop ignoring the people of Victoria and start consulting with them?
Before he was ushered into the House, Rankin swore the oath of allegiance and was sworn into the NDP caucus as well. The Democrat leader, Rep. Mulcair, says Rankin is a welcome addition to the NDP ranks. Elementary school students in British Columbia are at the head of the class tonight. They rank among the best in the world for their reading skills.
And congratulations to the young readers with...
Education Minister Don McCrae visited the grade 4 students at Margaret Jenkins Elementary in Victoria today to celebrate the province's grade 4 students achieving the highest average literacy scores in Canada last year, among the top 7 in the world. The BC Teachers Federation says class sizes at the primary level are smaller, and that helps them gain more one-on-one learning. But the BCTF says more work still needs to be done to ensure that all grade levels get similar education.
We know that we need more resources, more funding from this government, and if we actually had more funding, if we actually had more teacher librarians in our schools and more specialist teacher services, we think that the results could probably even been higher than what they are now.
About 23,000 Canadian students took part in the study, which includes 325,000 students, young readers from around the world. Well, kids around the capital region put their creativity to use this morning as they made Government House look just a little more festive. BC's newly appointed Lieutenant Governor, the Honourable Judith Guichon, welcomed the grade 3 students to Government House for a morning that was filled with treats, trees and entertainment.
I have to say my favorite part would be decorating the tree. We did this with, we put like blue stuff on, and then we put salt on it, and that was the fun part about it.
The students were entertained by Tickles the Clown and were decorating trees in the ballroom with their handmade crafts. They even got a chance to visit the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Oh, it's wonderful, and it's so exciting for us because it helps to generate the feeling of Christmas in the house. Each school brought one of the decorations into my office, and I have a little tree in there also, and they helped me decorate that.
And the kids are just getting things started. Government House hosts more holiday events, including some seniors' Christmas teas. Those are scheduled for tomorrow and Thursday. The city of Nanaimo is preparing to spend money on upgrades to infrastructure, but before Nanaimo can spend, it will save. The city presented its 2013 budget highlights today, outlining a 5-year plan to build up enough cash to pay for the upgrades. They would include the city's roads and sidewalks, water lines, sewer lines, parks and recreation facilities, and city vehicles.
We've done some estimates of what it would cost to replace that infrastructure when it wears out. So, and we've identified the fact that there's a bit of a gap between the amount of money we currently have and the amount of money that's needed to do all this work.
The city of Nanaimo proposes a 3.3% hike in property taxes, a 2.5% hike in water rates, and a 5% increase in sewer rates. That'll work out to an increase of just over $60 a year in property taxes for the average Nanaimo home. Well, it was a close race, but in the end, Overbay Secondary in Nanaimo came out on top, winning a North America-wide competition for its parody video of Gangnam Style.
E-instruction style.
The competition kicked off in early November with $30,000 in classroom technology at stake. The Nanaimo students were leading the race until Friday when a school in Ontario danced its way in front by a few hundred votes. But with a final push and a little sleep, Dover Bay won.
I think everybody had that moment of fear, like, oh no, they're going to win. And then just having like our whole community get together and just all these votes come in. It was really cool.
But the video is a really great representation of the talent of the students in this building, from dancers to singers. They're incredible kids.
Dover Bay expects the new classroom technology will arrive in January. The school will also get a technician for 5 days to teach students and teachers how to use and benefit from the new equipment. And congratulations to them.